Hey, welcome to a special mini episode of Nerds at Lunch. Um, Steve and his wife live very close to Disneyland, right? Not Disney World.
Disney World.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Disney World? Okay, okay. And since his wife works there, he gets to go to cool events and stuff. This one was the opening of the launch bay, which is the start of integrating Star Wars into the theme parks. So Steve's just going to talk a little bit about it, walk us through it. This isn't going to be a very long episode. I'm going to put it up maybe as a bonus. We'll find out when it uploads. So Steve, if you want to start.
So, I mean, the area that they use for what they're calling the launch bay, it was essentially what it was before was this like animators area where in the past what you could do is you could take this tour where you would walk through and they would actually behind glass you would see the Disney animators working on movies. They're actually working on like the latest Disney movie at the time. Like I remember being there the one time and they were drawing like the Hunchback of Notre Dame and stuff like that. So I mean it was pretty neat to be able to go through there and take this tour. And then they decided to kind of cut it back and it still had some stuff in there like they had like a little class they would do every so often during the day where you would learn how to draw a certain Disney character, and they still had all kinds of art like from the latest upcoming movies that were just kind of on display that you could see, so you'd be able to see them, like for example, the last time I had saw it they had, before Inside Out had come out, they had all kinds of like concept art, and it was kind of the same thing with like Big Hero 6. I was there when they had stuff out for that. So, it was still, I mean, it was kind of neat to go through there, but they literally took everything out of it. There's like absolutely nothing to do with the animator section anymore, and it's become all Star Wars. So, I mean, pretty much when you walk up to it, it doesn't even really look like anything special since they really just reused the building without really doing much with it. So it just kind of looks like your typical entrance. And then they just kind of put you in a line, and there's a video you can watch that kind of goes through some Star Wars stuff. And if you don't want to watch it, you can just skip it.
Yeah.
And there's guys with lightsabers directing people to the lines. So like the guy was saying that if you want to skip the movie, head down the hall to the end doors.
Is that a pun or is that
Yeah,
did he actually?
he was
Okay.
trying to make a pun. And then like there's people making comments like making an R2 detour and
Oh.
all kinds of stuff like that. So,
So not the top writers on this.
yeah. But I mean, so the video, I mean, I just watched it just to see what it was. I mean, pretty much, I'm sure they'll update it as
Yeah.
time goes on, but it essentially was kind of talking. It had like J.J. Abrams in it, and they had like the director for the next movie. Well, actually, for both the episode 8 and 4, the that what's it called
Rogue
again?
One.
The Rogue One movie,
Oh, okay.
and they also had I guess the main guy who's working on the new Star Wars show that's been, what is it, the is it Rebels
Rebels.
or,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean they kind of just talked about stuff, I guess pretty much stuff that's being worked on and kind of the history of Star Wars, and you kind of got to hear from all these creators that a lot of them grew up with Star Wars and they're big fans. So I mean it at least kind of gives you some hope that all these Star Wars fans that are working on the movies and stuff now are gonna do the best they can to kind
Yeah.
of.
I mean, I'm not worried about episode 8. 9 is being directed by the guy who did Lost World, Jurassic Park. So that's the one I'm a little iffy on.
But I mean, it was still kind of neat to watch it. I mean, like I said, I'm sure they'll probably update it like after the next movie comes out, that Rogue One.
Yeah.
That they'll probably have to update it every once in a while. But um, after that, they kind of take you out into, there's all kinds of display cases where you see, like props from the movies and like costumes and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's kind of just kind of walk through. There's artwork hanging. Um, Once you get past that, there's one section where you can go to meet Chewbacca, and again during the line waiting for him, they have more display cases of things, and
Oh,
then
sweet.
again for Vader, you can meet Vader there also. And then with my poor Star Wars knowledge of the older movies. The the bar with like
The
with the
cantina.
whole yeah, so
Yeah.
they have kind of something like that there. It's not really too detailed, but
Yeah.
I mean that's what they call it. And when you walk in there, it's pretty much I mean there's a few other display things there, and there was like those sand people walking around, and they had a
Tusken
whole
Raiders, Steve.
bunch.
Sand people's a slur. No.
And then they had there was a whole bunch of game consoles set up with the Disney Infinity. Oh crap! I first should have put my phone on
That's okay.
silent there. But yeah, they had all kinds of game consoles set up with the Disney Infinity Star Wars stuff, and I think they had some other Star Wars Rebel game. So yeah, there's all kinds of kids playing those. And then,
Rebels is, I think, part of Infinity, actually.
oh, is it?
Yeah. Which is a shame. I'd like a full Rebels game.
Yeah, I'm trying to because I saw that they put on Netflix all the Clone Wars stuff. I think I'm gonna watch that and try to get into the Rebel stuff since I saw everything other than the movies, and
Well,
those two things seem to be considered kicked
Clone
out.
Wars is pretty good, but it's long, and it doesn't really have an ending. So it might be something you want to skip.
Well, I guess we'll see when we get there because
Yeah.
Krista said she'd watch it with me.
Oh, okay.
But once you keep walking through there, suddenly it changes a bit, and you start seeing things like there's like these really cool like paintings of characters and things like that, and you start seeing price tags, and you realize you walked into a gift store.
Oh.
And
That's clever.
so unlike after the Star Tours ride when you get off and there's a gift shop, the stuff in there, I mean, there's like the workshop where you can build a droid, and it's literally like this little maybe like 2-inch tall droid that you build where you
Oh,
just
that's neat.
random pieces. I mean, it's not really anything fancy. You can tell it's just something for kids to do. And then there's like a lightsaber thing where you can build lightsabers there too. But again, they're not really that impressive looking.
Yeah. They
So
they
it's
actually
really,
have one of those up here.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of like you can tell it's meant for kids in there, but in
Yeah.
the launch bay when you walk into this gift store, you're seeing like $100 price stickers everywhere, and like a couple $100 for this, 1,000 something. But it's like
Yeah.
you could tell this is for the adults. And so
Yeah, I
yeah, they had
saw
all
the
kinds of
picture
like
of that lightsaber you guys got.
they had all kinds of paintings, like I said, and then all of a sudden you see like Han Solo's outfit, the Vader suit. There's
Oh
like
man.
Boba
You can't let
Fett.
me go in there if we come down there, Steve. I might not be able to afford to go home.
Yeah, 'cause they literally, I mean, it was ridiculous the pricing on it. Because even like Han Solo, I mean, I'm sure you could make the clothes if you knew what you were doing.
Well, I mean,
Because
it's a
it's not like
vest,
it's
a
anything
black shirt,
fancy.
or no, it's a vest, black pants, and a white shirt. So yeah, I mean, you could really,
Yeah,
you
for
could,
that and for that green, that like Empire kind of outfit that
yeah.
they wear, that those are both like $650.
Oh wow.
But then when you get to like the Vader armor, that was like $4,000. So,
Oh, that's a little out of my like
but
650 is like
the gift shop was just really, really neat though, how much stuff they had there. I mean, there was the I guess they call it like the Black Series, the
yeah.
Kylo Ren lightsaber, but they had all kinds of really cool things. Like they had these umbrellas that were actually like lightsabers that lit up,
Oh, that's neat.
and you had your choice of like the Empire symbol or like the the
The Rebel Alliance,
stuff. Yeah,
the
and
Phoenix.
they had a whole bunch of stuff like that. There was like furniture, like lamps and other things. They really went all out with that. And then there was all kinds of figures, like scale figures that were in the hundred range, like a couple $100 a piece. So,
I
and
mean,
they
like
were
those
pretty
big Hot
detailed.
Toys figures.
What's that?
The Hot Toys. Have you ever seen those that from the Chinese manufacturer that does the super detailed action figures?
No, I haven't seen those.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly which ones these ones were. They had a life-size Yoda.
Oh,
It's kind of cool.
I would like to see that if nothing else.
I think he was a good like $3,000 or something too.
Probably. He might have been an actual Muppet.
I'm just, I was thinking to myself when I first walked out there, I was like, who's gonna pay all this? And I was like, oh wait, there's actually adults that would probably pay
Yeah.
that.
I don't know about the $1,000 plus stuff, but you got to think there's people who work there like I get a discount. So
Yeah, I mean it. I mean
it's
the
only
really
2 years
though the
pay.
the costumes and the outfits. Like I said, there was the stormtroopers, there was Boba Fett and Vader, and
Mm,
then there was a couple others that. I mean they were pretty much like. I mean like the detail on them was pretty much what you would see in the movie.
yeah.
So I mean I think it probably unless you knew what you were doing to how to make that kind of stuff, then I think that you're at least getting some pretty high quality stuff for the price.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm sure they're like authentic reproductions, so they're well worth the effort and money. But I really I think some of those are going to be gathering dust.
yeah, I mean, it's funny though, because with the discounts that the cast members get, though, I mean, it definitely knocks a whole bunch off
Yeah,
of it. But even still, I don't know if that would really be worth it.
yeah.
But I
Well, I
mean,
mean,
it
come on,
definitely,
Steve. You of all people should know that you can. There's just some desire to wear a costume from one of your favorite things.
yeah. I had my Kamen Rider Kabuto suit, and I
Yes.
I paid like about $1,200 for that, and I mean, it was definitely, I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't quite as accurate as I would have liked it to be. Versus some other guy his suit looked perfect, and
Yeah.
I asked him how much he would charge the commission. He said something about like $3,500. I was like, yeah, I
Nice.
can't afford that.
I
But
mean, with dirt bike, that's like $5,000. No way.
yeah, I mean, it is definitely fun to wear that kind of stuff. And I was thinking that around Halloween time that I should use that Kylo Ren lightsaber for when little kids come by and try to. I'm sure they probably sell his helmet somewhere,
They do, but not in adult sizes, which is problematic.
or at least I know people who could probably make them. The guys that make these Kamen Rider suits,
Yeah.
so that might be kind of fun. But I mean, other than I mean, like there's definitely, like I said, there was a lot of stuff to see there as far as props and everything, and there was not only just props, but I mean, they had things like that pod racer that Anakin had, and then behind it you can see concept art and things like
Huh.
that. So
That's
there
neat.
was more than just the props. There was all kinds of concept art hanging.
The
So
concept art is the coolest part to me because it's so weird. Like even compared to what's in the movies.
It definitely, I mean, what I've been reading about what they're going to be doing with Star Wars Land, though, I mean, the entire concept of it, other than I'm sure there'll be some attractions like rides and stuff, but
Yeah.
they want it to be where you feel like you're on another planet, and they're supposed to have, people dressed up as all these different aliens that will be walking around and kind of in a role of, they'll be pretending to be some type of alien,
Oh,
so you're
that's neat.
supposed to feel immersed into the Star Wars universe. They were saying too something about how like some of the stuff would seem familiar and some of it would seem brand new. So I don't know if maybe it would be hints towards the other thing, like the future movies
Yeah, that
in
makes
there as
sense.
well. And I know they said they were gonna have the like a full size Millennium Falcon there
Oh
that
man.
you can actually get inside, and I guess there's some kind of at least the plan is that there's going to be some type of like virtual reality type thing that you would be piloting it.
Oh wow. So what you're
But
saying is I'll be there forever.
yeah, I mean, they don't really have much else other than that
Yeah.
information. But I can tell. I mean, for example, the one show, it's like this stunt show with cars. I think it's like lights, motored action. I've
Mm,
never even seen it because they put it in so many years ago. But it was kind of in a time period where I didn't even go that often,
yeah.
and I just never really bothered with it. So I went to go see it before they ripped it out, since that's part of the demolition area for Star Wars. But it was funny because it was so packed that they literally just kept pulling people in. Some people were standing
Huh.
because all these people that never really cared to see it know that it's getting ripped out now for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So they just kind of all wanted to see it before it was
Yeah,
gone.
it's weird. There's this whole if we ever do a theme park show, there's this whole like subculture of people that document the old rides that they've torn down. It's cool. Like there's pictures and stuff of all sorts of like old rides from like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably have. There's all kinds of rides, especially in Epcot,
Yeah.
that I really like that are all gone now.
Hmm. Well, that's
But
the nature
yeah,
of a theme park, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I think that what kind of bothers me with Disney is that they were doing a lot of things where they would rip out stuff and put in something that's just based on a movie. And I mean, it, it's, I mean, it's not really a problem if it's just kind of immersion into the movie, like what they're doing with Star Wars. But when it's literally just, you just ride this ride that takes you through scenes from the movie and it's like you're just riding through the movie, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I heard they were gonna do that to the Haunted Mansion if that movie was successful. Thank goodness that bullet was dodged. But I know like Jack Sparrow is in the Pirates of the Caribbean now.
Yeah, they just threw a bunch of animatronic Johnny Depps throughout the ride.
I heard the first week they did that, Johnny Depp was actually in the ride at the end.
Yeah, I
And
heard rumors about that. I don't know how true that was.
I know I can't find any proof either, but it sounds like something he'd do. Oh no, let me in, let me in. They'll think it's a robot. It'll be hilarious.
One other thing that I've never really paid attention to since at the time I never really cared that much since, like I said, I only watched the Star Wars movies when I was little and then it never really stuck with me. So
Yeah.
I just kind of usually skip through the Star Wars stuff, but we sat and watched they do it, it's multiple times during the day where the kids have to sign up beforehand and it's this Jedi training where they take so many kids and they give them lightsabers and they just kind of have them it's there's pretty much like a basic little pattern that they have them do like to the left, right, and then like block, and then they have to duck and do something, and then they have it's pretty much like a setup where they're supposed to be doing that whole Jedi trial thing with the cave.
Yeah.
I don't kind of like what happened with Luke, and then they had Vader and Darth Maul step out from there, and then the kids had to face them and do that whole like what they were taught. A lot of the kids couldn't really do it effectively,
Well,
but it was
obviously.
still it was still pretty cool to see it when they came out. I mean, I could imagine, if I was a kid now and I was into Star Wars, that I would probably, the fact that you're fighting Darth Vader was pretty cool.
Yeah. I would probably wigged out.
They had him, it was obviously just over the speakers, but they had him speaking too, so it wasn't like he just stood there.
Yeah.
Except
That's
Darth
it.
Maul didn't say anything,
He
but
never says anything.
but
He's a
yeah, I mean,
mute in the movies, so.
it was still pretty cool though to watch that, and the fact that I think that there might have actually been more girls in that particular training
Yeah.
class, as they call it, than boys. I was pretty surprised, and the
I'm
fact that
not
there's
surprised.
so many girls walking around the parks with lightsabers and stuff. Like there was, the one time I saw it was like, the little boy had a Kylo Ren lightsaber, and
Yeah.
then the girl had one too, but hers had a pink blade on it. But then there was another family I saw where it was just two girls and they both had lightsabers. There was no
Yeah.
boys at all. So yeah, I definitely think that Star Wars has been reaching out to the female crowd now.
I'm glad. It's like I said in a bunch of other shows. It's something I want to share with like my niece, but there's not a lot of girl stuff in the first three movies. Like I can't really show her Leia in the bikini, but like I can show her Force Awakens and she'll love Rey. So I think it's cool that little girls are in the Star Wars.
Yeah, it just sucks that I don't, because when I was living in Colorado, I would have been close
Yeah,
to my sister's kid that she just had, but
yeah.
now I'm probably not going to be able to influence her much, but she's
Well,
definitely will be coming
she's
down
old
from
enough.
Disney.
Yeah. I mean, you're the uncle that lives next to Disneyland. I think you're going to see her every summer for the rest of her life.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're hoping, that we can just kind of corrupt her kids when they come down. But we told her that we're definitely gonna make her do the Jedi training at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by the time she's old enough, most of that should be done, so she'll have a much larger experience.
Yeah, they actually. I'm just not sure how big it's going to be since there's a giant area that they're demolishing for it, but they're also. It's not just Star Wars Land, but also a Toy Story Land.
Oh, hmm. Well,
So
I would
yeah, I don't know
imagine
how
Toy
much is
Story Land is
occupied.
probably going to be a little smaller than people think.
I think that they're trying to. I know in the Disneyland Paris that they have a Toy Story Land, and I think they're trying to kind of emulate it a little bit over here.
I mean, it's a popular movie, and I think it's at that point where it's iconic now, so I can see them doing that.
Yeah, I saw too that they have in the works. I think it's not until like 2019 or something, but they have Toy Story 4 planned.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about that. But
If
other
you
than
look
just,
at Pixar's movies, there's one movie that is new, and then the rest of the movies for the next like till like 2020 look like they're all sequels.
well, yeah, Finding Dory is it, I think, and then like
Yeah,
they
that's the
had
next one that's
Inside
coming out
Out,
this year.
and then they had that dinosaur movie that wasn't that good. That's not their fault. I mean, it looked fine. I think it was just I was looking up on the history of it. It looked like it was doomed from the start. Then I don't think there's anything after Finding Dory. Maybe another Cars sequel, but ugh.
Yeah, Cars 3 is planned, and then
Yeah,
The
those toys
Incredibles
sell
2.
so much. Well, The Incredibles too, I'm fine with. That's a movie that should have a sequel. It's long, long overdue.
Yeah, I can't. I think that's it. Like I said, I just know there was one
Oh,
new one.
there's more. They just don't announce their like new movies until they're almost done. So I'm sure we'll hear about it.
The Disney Animation Studios has the majority of them are obviously going to be newer, but they are. I think Moana is the next one, which is like kind of like the next princess movie, and then
Mm,
I see that they do have Frozen 2 scheduled.
yeah, I'm not an. Did you see that weird short that they
No,
made?
I had wanted to see that. I never got a chance to
It
see
was
it though.
so bad. Like she
They had
quoted
it
"Let
in.
It Go." And they made these weird little snowmen every time she sneezed. It was just really problematic.
They had that playing in this little. It used to be this thing. It was like a Drew Carey thing. It was called Sounds Dangerous, where you put on these headphones and you're in a dark room and you pretty much had to listen to the entire show. And they pretty much just ripped that out and put in that Frozen. What is it called? Like Frozen Fever or something.
Yeah.
And you could just go in there and watch it. But now they replace that with it's like a 10-minute recap of episodes 1 through 6 of Star Wars.
Oh, that's better than Frozen Fever. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I forgot that was another little Star Wars thing added in.
Hmm.
I'm sure a lot of that will probably change once they add more, but I guess they're just
Yeah,
trying to put as much as they can in
they're
there.
just trying to hype it up so people will be excited for when it's its own thing. And I mean, it looks like a big area, but you got to assume there's going to be a few restaurants for both Toy Story and Star Wars.
Yeah, probably. I know that they closed Pizza Planet, which Krista, for when she had never been there to do Pizza Planet since she had only gone when she was really little,
Yeah.
and she was super excited. She's like, "We got to eat at Pizza Planet." I was like, "It's not what you think it is. Like, it's just literally like this crappy little pizza place. Like, but now it's shut down and they're remodeling. So I wonder if they're gonna try to make it actually
Look like
similar
the
to,
movie. Yeah,
yeah."
that would be cool. I mean, there's like 700 pizza places in there, so
I was disappointed too with Star Tours that it was I forget what they I think it was if it was just called Star Tours or maybe it had another title at the time, but now it's Star Tours: The Journey Continues.
I think it was
And
just Star Tours, and now they've probably since they added new stuff.
I was expecting there to be a lot of new stuff, but it was the outside's the same, the
Yeah.
inside's the same. The only difference was that uh, no, there was an opening part of the little ride video that you're watching this 3D, and it would kind of just I think it was different based on there was just it was kind of random unless they have it set at certain gates. I'm not really sure how it works, but it would just be a different thing here and there. But this time they changed it that you're flying through Jakku, and then they had I forget what you said the name of the planet that from that what was it episode 2 with all the
Yeah,
cars and everything.
Coruscant.
So I mean, that was one of the things, and that already existed at the time, but there was
Yeah.
something else before it that they just replaced. So I'm not sure if every single version of the ride has you just do Jakku and then does what it used to
Hmm.
do before. I only got to ride it once, but I'm going to be going back next week probably, and
Yeah.
I'm planning on trying to ride it a couple times just to see if any of the other ones are different.
It might change daily, but I don't know
I know
that.
I know we rode it a couple times before they redid it, and we rode it a couple times in a row back then,
Yeah.
and it was different each time we did it.
Oh, okay.
The best one was probably, since I don't understand what's so great about Boba Fett, and everyone thinks he's the greatest
It's
character ever.
you had to be a kid when you saw that movie. I'm with you. I didn't see Jedi until I was like 14, so it doesn't he
But
doesn't have the allure to me.
it's pretty funny because he just kind of shoots this bomb at you, and then it bounces off and he blows himself up. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's what he does.
that
That's
was
funny.
probably the most entertaining one, but I don't know if that one's still in there or not. I'll find out.
Hmm. Okay. So I think that covers everything, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything I was talking about too. I mean, that's all in that one park right now.
oh,
So,
okay.
I mean, there's only more to come. So,
Oh, that's good. Maybe when the whole thing's done, we'll be down there for a special episode or something.
yeah, I have my fancy camera that I can film
Oh, that'd be nice.
in
I was
4K.
worrying about how I was gonna get a camera, but if you have one, then we're good.
Yeah, I got it for doing my video reviews and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for listening, everyone. Give me 1 second here to pull up the uh, the end crawl for everybody. You can find us on Twitter at Nerds at Lunch, Facebook, facebook.com/robothousepodcasts. Then you can follow Steve on Otaku Henshin, facebook.com Otaku Henshin online, or just otakuhenshin.com if you want to go to his store, which you should because it's got a bunch of cool stuff on it. And then thanks for listening to this little mini-sode, and not sure when this is going up, but we will see you soon. Adios.